the camera. So Lana's here with me today.
Hello.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. She's here to supervise my sewing and make sure I don't screw it up. So, so if you want to sew along, all you will need is some 10-inch squares and a yard of fabric. Since it's kind of getting close to Christmas,
we thought it would be better to use some really lovely, cozy, Christmassy flannels, and these woolly flannels are the best. They are so comfy and so thick, and we only have a few left, so keep that in mind as we're going along here.
Yeah, so we have about, I think we have 6 or 7 of these left, and as we started taking the layer cake apart and cutting it up today, Lana decided she needed to rescue one.
I had to take one home because this stuff just feels, it's just so plush and so thick and
yes,
cozy. And it's getting cold here in Moscow.
Yes, it is. It's getting very cold. So it's a lot of reds and greens. And this is the other fabric that we selected from one of Bonnie Sullivan's other Christmas collections.
Snow Days flannel.
Yes.
So we chose this one because it not only has the reds and the greens that we have in our layer cake, but it also has a third color, so it kind of breaks up the reds and the greens a little bit. And I think it does a pretty good job of that.
So we had fun cutting it all up. So what we did, so we're using a free pattern from the Robert Kaufman website. This one is called Flapping Geese. So we will link to it below. And what we're going to do today is fast flying geese. I have always wanted to learn how to do fast flying geese. And so they are really fast, actually.
And there's no waste, which is nice.
That's a huge one.
When I originally learned how to make flying geese, you started out with the rectangle and you sewed 2 squares on either corner. And half the time you ended up sort of with kind of a mountain shape. And then you ended up cutting off half of your squares and half the fabric was ending up in the garbage. And by doing it this way, there's literally like a 1/4 inch of waste for an entire square. So it's way better to do it this way. And it comes out perfect. I mean, you did it, and Savannah, our marketing gal, was in there sewing and nobody had any problems. So it was pretty straightforward.
I like that too, that it's no waste. I was actually thinking about that while I was doing these, because I've done flying geese before too, but it's like, it was on that blue and white quilt, and it had like 6-inch squares and then 5-inch squares, and then you sew it on the corner, and then you cut off half the fabric, and then you put it again, and you cut off half the fabric, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's all this wasted fabric. That was kind of driving me nuts.
Yeah.
I don't like waste.
Yeah.
So here are a couple of, I'll show you what we got finished so far, and then I'll make a really quick one, really fast, 15 minutes. So we had these ones.
And basically you can make 4 flying geese literally with 1 10-inch square and 4 5-inch squares basically. And you basically have 4 full-size flying geese, which is nice.
And the other thing that I thought was really fun about this is it's versatile. So you can lay these blocks out however you want. So you can go this way. This one is a little bit different. It has a couple going sideways. You can put these next to each other, going like this. So you can kind of see how that's coming together. And I really had fun with this too, with the layer cake, because the fabrics are all different. Because I get bored if it's the same fabric and the same block and the same thing over and over. I can't do it. That becomes a UFO.
Well, when I sew, I always like sew stuff together, and then I stop and I'm like, oh, I love that. And then I look at the next one, oh, I love that. That's half the joy of sewing for me.
Right. So I like all the different fabrics that are in here. So basically what you need is, what was it, 40 of these? 40 10-inch squares. And you cut 18 of them down into...
Oh, so 24. So you took 24 of your 40.
Yeah.
And you cut them into 9 1/4-inch squares. And something to mention on these and a lot of the layer cakes, anymore, a lot of the layer cakes are cut with sort of the pinked edge. I don't know about you, but I hate sewing with pinked edge. You never know where to line up your seam. You don't know if you go on the valley or the hill. And so when I cut the 9 1/4 inch, there was just enough to cut off all of those pinked edges, and so you have a nice straight edge to sew on. And the rest of the squares, the other 18, you cut 4 and 7/8 inch squares. So basically you're cutting them in fourth and just a little bit less. And so
So 9 1/4 inch squares,
Yep.
and then 4 7/8 inch squares
for the other 18.
for the other 18.
And then out of your yard of fabric that you have, you cut one 9 1/4 inch strip width and cut that into 4 of these 9 1/4 inch squares. And then we had, I believe it was 5 4 and 7/8 inch strips times with the fabric, and cut those into the smaller 4 and 7/8 inch squares. And so that just gives you more ways to put your fabric together. And you can use a solid, you can use a print. We kind of went with the print on this because these look more like tonals. You know, they give more of a solid feel than the other. If you have a layer cake that's really busy, you may want to go with a solid or a tonal so it gives your eyes somewhere to rest. But since we had the pretty close to solid, we figured we'd be okay with this.
And I like how these are coming out too.
Yeah, and it's just so festive.
It is. It's gonna end up on my couch when we're done with it. Okay, so here I have a 9 1/4 inch square, and I am going to pick, when you cut up your layer cake and you cut one of your pieces, you want to make sure that you use the same fabric for your 4 corners, because if you don't, then it's going to really look
Then your
scrappy.
wings will be different, and we want our wings of our geese to look the same.
Right, so these ones are different. Here, there, there. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to pick this guy. So, I think everything's on. Yes, it is. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Savannah is watching comments. Savannah helped with some of these blocks too today. She had fun. And then she was like, okay, I have to go.
Easy.
I have to go get ready for the live. So the way I was doing it, so there's 2 different ways to figure out where you're going to sew.
And it is really important when you put your little smaller squares on top to get them lined up really well on the edges, because if they're not lined up, your wings are going to look a little bit
Off
skewed.
kilter.
Yeah, you
Okay.
don't want drunken geese.
Yeah, drunken geese. Okay. Okay. So I am going to line up my 1/4 inch right on the corner of the square. And I'm going to...
So as Christy said, there was 2 ways of doing this. And if you're used to sewing, marking a line and sewing a 1/4 inch from that line, then you would just write the line from corner to corner. Christy wanted a line to sew on. So what she did is she lined her 1/4 inch up on the quarter and then sewed marked a 1/4 inch away from that center line, so she would have a line to actually sew on. So you can do it either which way you want. I'm used to just sewing a 1/4 inch away from the line, and I think Savannah did it that way and had no problems with it. So
Yeah.
it's just your own personal preference.
I'm not great at the 1/4 inch. I get off kilter and I go sideways, and then it's swirly and it's not straight. So, and I like to use the clear foot on the machine. I just like to see what's going on under there. I don't like it when I can't see where the edge is and what's going, and where it's going. So
You definitely wouldn't use a 1/4 inch with the flange on it because you're sewing on a flat area. You're not sewing on an edge. So you definitely want just a flat foot to sew with these.
oh yes, right. So we'll slide this in here so you can see what I did. I drew my 1/4 inch line, my sew line, so that's where I'm gonna sew. So take it off the design board. See, these are handy if you're doing these little YouTube videos. And then I'm gonna sew just inside the line, because then my block comes out slightly larger, and then I have a little bit of wiggle room when I trim up my blocks. So what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, we use flannel so the fabric doesn't move too much. If you're not using flannel, it might help if you just put a couple of pins. That way when you're moving it from the design board or from your cutting mat over to the sewing machine, they don't slide and so forth.
Okay.
The flannel though sticks really well, so it's not
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, so it doesn't move around. Okay, and I don't sew very, very fast. I'm sure Wendy is like, sews right through those seams. And just so you know, often when I am sewing, I tend to stick my tongue out because it comes out better.
My grandma used to do that.
Yeah, my grandma used to do that too. So if I start making funny faces, just know that it comes out better that way. And I already see that I had a crooked line back here. So I'm gonna go fix that really quick because
It's actually close enough.
that one's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Number
good.
2 said you need a Sam So Easy.
A seam so easy.
Maybe a Seam So Easy.
You know, I've tried to figure out how to use
Oh, the little
those,
flower
much
deal.
better.
and I actually can't figure out how to use those.
I've never used one of those.
So I have, but I did put some cute little washi tape on the machine, so I knew where the 1/4 inch was, and that actually helped. Yep, went and broke into the washi tape, and that was
Washi
good.
tape is very helpful.
Yes. Plus, it's cute.
It's cute.
Did you drink your water? I said cute. Cute, cute, cute. Whee! Okay. This is fun. I'm having fun sewing with you guys. Are you guys sewing? Is anybody else sewing with me? Okay. And this is what I do with my strings always.
So I can just mention this, if you happen to have a chair that's got wheelies on the bottom, that is the worst thing to do because those threads get stuck in the wheelies.
So there's my sewed line. So now I am going to just cut right down the middle.
Corner to corner.
Yep, corner to corner. And see how straight I sewed. Kind of, sort of.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
Amy said she's gonna show you how to use it when she comes out.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good. You guys are still planning on coming out. That's good. I was actually on the way home last week. I was thinking about how much fun that would be if you guys really did come out to see me.
We'll make it a party.
Us? Oh yeah, it'll be
would be
a
fun.
party. Yeah. And if you have a camper, maybe, and you're nice, I might even let you like camp at my house. That'd be fun.
And you're nice. Of course they're nice. Come on.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes these girls get a little
crazy,
spicy.
huh?
Yeah. Sometimes they're a little spicy, and it's like, oh boy.
That makes life interesting.
It does. Oh, that's cute. Oh my gosh.
So sometimes they say that looks like a cat. I personally think it looks like a heart.
Yeah, I think it looks like a heart too. Probably depends on what color fabric you have. I don't know, but that looks like a cute little heart. So I did not press the seams open. I just pressed away.
Press towards the wings.
Yep, press towards the wings because you're going to trim those off. This is flannel. There was a couple of seams on the blocks that I did not press open. I pressed to the side, and I kind of wished I had done that a little bit differently because it was a little bulky when I was going over it. I don't like to change the foot too, and so I probably should have put the walking foot on, but I just didn't feel like it, so. I just went over it. Okay, so now, so I have my little hearts. Cute, aren't those cute? Let me show you on the design board because you can't hardly see that with my
A little bit dark.
dark hair. There you go. So now you've got your little heart. So now I am going to put my next square right here,
Lining it up perfectly.
lining it up perfectly so Lana's proud of me. And then I'm gonna draw my sew lines again on both of these. So here we go. Now I can use my shorter ruler, which is nice. I just have to find the 1/4 inch, which is kind of hard to find, but it's around here somewhere. See, and I have to do the squinty thing so I can see. It's not quite perfectly lined up. But that's okay. I kind of figured out how to make you, when you get to the sewing part of these, with a little more experience, you can figure out where you're going, and that doesn't make any sense. Never mind, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just
Sew on the
rambling.
lines, it'll work out just fine.
Yes. And then this one, I am going to mark.
I just can't get over how quickly these are. I mean, I've not done flying geese for so many years because I think they take forever. And once I started using this method, it's like, oh, what did I what did I, why did I wait? Because
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. And the nice thing with flying geese is you don't have to do a whole quilt. You can, if you want a cool flying geese border, this is so simple, and you can, like this, and it's a great way. One of my favorite borders is piano keys, but that gets boring because it's just little strips of all your fabric. But if you can, if you can do something interesting like this, that totally adds to your quilt.
Right, I was just gonna say, you totally read my mind. They're really a versatile block because you can add them to anything. You can add them to a panel and it makes it look interesting. You can make them going different directions. And then if you want to pull out your geometry book again, you can figure out how big your pieces need to be.
There are charts all over the internet. You can just look up chart for flying geese sizes and you'll be able to find a chart that tells you if you need a 3-inch flying geese, these are the sizes of the pieces you need. So those are handy to have. We didn't happen to print one out, but you can find them everywhere.
Yeah, maybe we should make one of our own and add it to the description of the
That's a good idea.
video. Because it's just math. It's a squared plus b squared
Equals C squared.
equals c squared. Wendy's probably going, no, math! I'm sure my daughter is. So I also, hang on, let me just sew this before this is fun. I got really frustrated with the flying geese the first time I did it because it was that other way. This is so much better.
I tell you, my first few flying geese, they look like little mountains. The wings they were never straight. It was annoying.
Yeah, really frustrating.
And then trying to get it straight, I'd end up cut off the top of my mountain. It was not good.
Yeah, that was when I was sewing these blocks together, trying to get the right, sewing them together, getting it to go exactly where I wanted, so the point was where I wanted it.
Yeah.
There was a little trick I did with that too.
Huh?
She said, you're getting faster.
Well,
Christy gets a little impatient. That's just how she is.
what?
Just a little bit.
What? I do?
Just a little bit.
Oh. Well, they don't want to sit here and watch me sew all day, so.
That's therapeutic.
It is kind of therapeutic. It's really therapeutic to do it, too.
I used to laugh at people who would have those fireplace scenes at Christmas time and they'd just sit and watch the TV with the fireplace on it.
I used to do that.
I personally think I could sit and watch somebody sew all night.
There are a lot of people that do live
think I
sewing on
could.
YouTube, so
I think I could. I think
There
that
we
would be
go.
okay. It'd be fun.
it is. All right, so I'm getting these now. This fancy little iron that I have, by the way, I love. It's cordless, and it has this cute little snap-on lid.
A little cozy.
Yeah, it's a little snap-on lid. It literally just snaps on. The cord sucks up into the base, and then you can carry it to quilt camp. I love it. I've been bringing it in and out of the shop.
Some of these you might check. Some of these you can actually put on hot and it doesn't hurt them. So
Really?
yeah.
Well, I ordered 4 of them today, so we'll have them in a week.
Okay. Is that
So-
for us or are you gonna carry them in the store?
Yeah, for carrying them on the store,
Oh, awesome.
in case anybody wants to upgrade their iron.
I can tell you having a cordless iron is so much easier,
Well-
especially when you're sewing next to your sewing machine. Because you got too many cords. You already got your sewing machine cord and your foot pedal cord, and
There, all
there
done.
you go.
4 flying geese in 20 minutes because I was talking a lot.
Not bad.
That was fun. So,
Then you have to trim them.
oh yes, I forgot. Thank you. See?
You end up with little dog ears.
Yeah.
They come out pretty straight,
Yeah.
but you end up with a few little dog ears that you trim off.
Yeah. So, in this particular block, finishes 4.5 by 8.5. Well, right now, 4.5 by 8.5 is what I need to trim it to. And I just so happen to have a Cute Cuts ruler that is 4.5 by 8.5.
It's amazing.
I
It's
know,
like it
isn't
was
that
made for
amazing?
it.
It was. It was made. So my blocks came out pretty good. Now tell them what you said about if the block comes out a little bit short. If it's a little bit big or a little
So-
bit short, what do you do?
For me, every once in a while I might be just a touch off. If it looks like it's going to be a touch off, I split my difference. So I put my ruler in the middle. And so if it's a little bit off on one side, move it over just a touch so you're a little short on both sides. That way you can actually center it in your seams and you'll probably never even notice.
Right.
You know, it's a lot easier if you're 1/8 of an inch off. If you're just a 1/16 of an inch off on both sides, it'll be okay.
Yes. So I'm just going to square up my blocks.
And honestly, I think this one, as my dear departed mother would say, I think this particular pattern would probably be pretty forgiving once you got it quilted.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times the blocks are very forgiving. Like probably, you know, the Lori Holt ones that have the horse with the quilt blanket on the back are not very forgiving, but something
Deidre
like
did
this.
one of those, I think. Was it Deidre? I think Deidre actually just finished a horse, Lori Holt horse thing. That was
One of
pretty
the
cool.
horse blocks?
Yeah. It was very cute.
Cool. And I heard somebody made a stocking recently. Wendy.
I think Wendy made some really cute piece stockings that were adorable.
I have not been on my Facebook much.
You've kind of been busy.
Yeah, I've kind of had a lot of things going on. So like by the time I get in from feeding the horses and everything, checking on the chickens, making sure they're not freezing to death.
I think you missed one.
Oh, I did. I kind of, well, actually the block came out a little bit wrong. Probably, that's the one I was going fast on. See?
It's okay.
Okay.
Sherry's asked, is there any special concerns when working with flannel? She hasn't sewn with it before.
The only thing I think, if you haven't sewn with it before, is at this point, if you haven't sewn with it before, this would be a good time to put your walking foot on, because your clear foot wants to jump around a little bit and not quite go over. And I'll show you what I'm talking about as soon as I get this
The
block
other
put
thing
together.
with flannel is sometimes flannels can almost feel like they stretch a little bit. And if you've ever tried to quilt with stretchy fabric, that's not real fun. And so if your flannel is giving you issues, using something like a starch or a best press, and you know, process them real well so they don't go anywhere, that can be helpful. But I personally like sewing with flannel because, you know, you have two pieces, they tend to stick pretty well together. You know, they're not going anywhere once you put them where you want them, and so that's helpful.
So when I'm gonna sew these together now, so here's what the finished part's gonna look like. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew this seam here so that I can see the peak on this triangle, because I want the peak to line up really nicely.
You don't want to cut the top off your mountain.
Yeah, you don't want to cut the mountain top off. So this isn't perfect. You can see the bottom one came out pretty good. The top one is a little bit spaced out. I could have got that a little bit closer together. But that one, so you want the peaks. You don't want to cut the mountain top off, and you don't want to not get there to the mountain top.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I sew this seam, I'm going to aim for just barely, like right on the seam on the mountaintop, or
About a thread
thread above it. Yeah,
Because
so
you've
that
got
when
that
I press
fold.
it open. So that's what I'm going to aim for.
And the
So
other thing
let's
with this
see
is
how
you
I
don't
do.
have to press these open. If you don't like pressing seams open, press towards the bottom, press away from your point, because it's a lot harder to press back on your point. It's a lot easier to press towards that long piece of fabric.
And I am sewing just inside my 1/4 inch marker. Okay, so now I have my regular foot on. I do not have my walking foot on. My walking foot would just go right over the top of this, pretty much no issues. But I have to kind of work it in a little bit here because I'm too lazy to change my foot because I want to get her done.
If you happen to have a FAF sewing machine, sometimes those are really nice because they have an IDT, which is a built-in walking foot, and they come in handy.
Ooh, nice. And this is just our little classroom demo one, so Maya Ilna probably has some of those fanciness things, but I don't
This is
know.
a nice little machine though. We were
Yeah.
moving it over here. I was amazed at how lightweight it was. It would be a really good machine to take to, like, say, a class or something.
Or quilt camp or
Or
something.
quilt camp. Anywhere
Yeah.
where you have to lug your machine around.
Yeah.
Some of those nice fancy machines weigh a ton.
Yeah. They're heavy. So that
Looks
came out
pretty
pretty
good.
good. So now let's do the other one. And then I'll press it. So on some of these I pressed them open and some of them I didn't.
See, and if it were me,
Have you seen?
I would press it towards this way.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to press it towards the point.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, for a lot of fabrics, it makes the seam a little stronger if you're not pressing it open.
Mm-hmm.
And with flannel, because it's not as tightly woven,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's better to press it one direction, unless
Oh.
you really have a lot of bulk.
And Lana is also our in-house long arm quilter. Well, that's kind of her side gig, I guess, because she doesn't have time to do it during the week.
I do it on the weekends, and yes.
So she has probably learned a lot of things by doing other people's quilts.
I have learned a lot of things that you shouldn't do, and a lot of things that can be done differently to make it easier to quilt
For the quilter.
for the quilter.
Yes. Because we like to keep the quilters happy, don't we?
Yes, this is true.
Yes. Okay. So. You told me to iron it towards the thing.
Yeah, see how it keeps your point flat,
Uh-huh.
and I mean it's just it wants to go that way anyway.
Okay.
Wendy said if you have a hump jumper or just put a piece of batting under the back of the foot, that helps level out the foot.
There you
Go
go.
over bulky seams.
A hump jumper.
A hump jumper? I don't know what those are.
We just need all of our customers to come and just tell us how to do things.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
This one was already finger pressed. Nice. Okay. So now there's two ways I can put this block together. Well, actually, there's lots of ways I can
Lots
put
of
this
ways.
together.
But in this pattern, it shows you how to either leave them in a strip or put them side by side.
Yep. So you could do that, or you could put them like this, side by side, in this pattern.
And then they have them going in all different directions.
Yep. You can
Which
go
is
that
pretty
way,
cool.
That way. Or you can go the one I did on the other one, was I went like this.
Do you have some that aren't sewn together already?
Yes. Here. They're right here.
Because sometimes you can do like,
Also, these, you play with those.
okay, so sometimes.
Or do you want these?
No, I was just gonna do 8. So sometimes you can do a square that looks kind of like this. And let's see here. I remember how they go. So Okay, like that.
Oh. Yeah.
No, that's not right. Something's. Oh, it's because these two fabrics are the same. You can do it if you have different squares. If we have different squares, you can do them going in a circle. It kind of loses it a little bit having the same flannels next to each other. But anyway.
You want this one?
So like, say, what if we did, or like even, what if we just move this guy? Let me have those again.
Okay.
This is the fun part. You get to figure out what you want to do. So you could even do this. And this, there we go. That way you don't have two fabrics that are in the same place.
I see.
See,
Okay,
so
so
that
let me
kind of goes in a circle.
Scooch it to the middle here so I can show you guys. That's fun. That's cool. I like how that looks.
So I mean, if you don't use a layer cake, you might want to have less different fabrics, so fewer fabrics, and you might want to play with the design a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But just having
An ombre would be really pretty with this
oh,
too.
that would be gorgeous.
You could do like from dark to light.
That would be fun.
On the ombre. That would be really pretty.
Yeah.
People are always looking what to do with ombres But then you can also just do a whole bunch of different crazy different things.
Some going
So
one way and
this-
some going another way.
Would fit on the end of this block once it's sewn together because everything is coming out the same size.
Yep. Just
Cute
kinda
little
cool.
trees. So,
Yeah.
fun.
Tammy said if you use a small square of fabric as your leader and ender, it will help you greatly.
A small square fabric.
We used to call those bridges. And so you start sewing on the fabric,
Mhm.
and that way, I always just hold on to my threads really well,
Mhm.
and sometimes you forget that.
Mhm.
Because if you don't have that, then sometimes it gets kind of stuck down in the machine down there.
Yeah. I've learned that, but it's just one extra thing I have to try to remember. But yeah,
Sometimes it's not worth
I've done
taking
that
the shortcuts.
sometimes. Yeah. I've done that sometimes, probably on more complicated blocks.
But
and
it
really
helps,
small
especially if
pieces.
you're getting into an area that's real small, that,
Mhm.
like you need to go over a point or something.
Yeah.
If you've started on a bridge, it's helpful.
Nice. Very good. All good points. So there's our fast flying geese block. And I didn't sew it all the way together, but
And hopefully she'll have this ready, completely done by next week for you all.
I still have the North Pole tree skirt to get done.
Okay, maybe by next Christmas, but
Maybe
you
by
know, we'll
next
get
Christmas.
it.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
We had a couple of other, I grabbed a couple of other bundles that I thought would be really fun to make with this. If you have enjoyed looking at this, I grabbed the red, white, and black Kimberbell fat quarter bundle, which would totally work. And you could use one of her whites for a background and then make a red, white, and black quilt. So that would be really fun. Or this Christmassy one has a lot of small prints. This one is Yuletide. Yuletide, we have a couple of those fat quarter bundles left. If you wanted to do like a rainbow quilt, the spectrum, this is the dark spectrum. I think this would look really striking with like a lighter background.
That would look really pretty.
So this has everything from the reds, orange, green, blue, and into the purples. And then you could lay it out so that the colors just kind of come up the quilt. That would be really pretty.
You know, with these, so these are the color wash, the flannels. It's the same kind of flannels as these are, but it's like a rainbow of these sort of, you know, they're tonals. This would be really pretty. There's 2 of each color in here. You could get 2 of these, and instead of having, like, use these as the small pieces, and then for the 9 1/4 inch squares, you could get like a dark gray or a black, and then put the 4 of each color on it. So the wings would all be different, but the big triangles would be the same color. That would be really pretty. So these are pretty. I love the colors in here. Look at these colors. They're just gorgeous. You know,
Purple, blues,
green,
greens,
yellow. It's the
yellows.
whole rainbow, and they're just so warm and they feel so good. They're wonderful. So I mean, 2 of those and probably I don't know, maybe a yard and a half of fabric. You could probably do a similar quilt, but it would have the triangles would all be the same color, and just all of the little wings would be different, which would be kind of cool. So
Yeah.
might have to try that myself.
Okay. We do have a couple of those Maywood bundles left. This one I grabbed because this is a really pretty fat quarter bundle that
Oh,
has a
mascot?
panel in it.
Is that the joy? Christmas joy.
So if
These
you
are
need
really
it-
striking panels with it's kind of a gold
yeah.
in it. It's really pretty.
So if you needed a quick project for somebody that you wanted to have as a wall hanger, a bed quilt or something, thing about a panel is that's like half the quilt right there.
You could do like rows of flying geese all the way around it.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So we have, and then there's lots of different colors.
Yeah.
So lots of blues, snowflakes, and some of these are nice big prints and some of them are little prints. So you could use the larger prints for your larger piece, your 9 1/4 inch. And then you could get the smaller prints for your smaller pieces.
You could use the darker colors for the big triangles and the lighter colors for the little wings.
That would be really pretty.
That would be really pretty.
So, and we have those in blue and in red.
Here's another
I think that one's another panel one.
lavender garden.
Yep. This one's Lavender Garden, and this one also has a panel, but I can't take it apart. This one's zipped in here, so.
Poor Terry.
I know. Terry's gonna be like, no!
Terry makes all of our bundles beautiful.
Yep,
And
she's
then
the
we
one
lay
that
them on her table for her to put them back together after the lives.
rolls them and ties them up with a bow. So this is a lavender garden fabric. And I was thinking this would be really fun too because it has a couple of the panels. Butterflies.
So, you know, spring is coming.
Yes. This one would actually get done in time, maybe.
There you go. You always have to plan at least a good season ahead. Well, at least I do. I can't get things done on the fly anymore. Life's just too busy.
Yes. So this
Look,
one
it
has
looks like English tea.
a larger panel with these little squares. If there was a way to integrate those into the squares, that would be really pretty. And there's even blocks down here for who made it.
Quilt labels are always important, so the next generation knows who did what.
Mm-hmm. I like that the quilt label's right there on that panel.
And it matches.
And it matches.
Even better.
Even more better. So that's lavender and tea. What else?
Did you look at this one?
I didn't.
Seeds.
Seeds. This one's fun.
I don't think you looked at these either.
I didn't open them up.
Okay.
I just threw them out here.
Okay. And so we got most of the others.
Tammy and Wendy are gonna make Lori Holt ones.
Tammy and Wendy are going to make Lori Holt ones. What are you going to put in the middle? Are you going to do a panel or are you just going to do Lori Holt fabric?
Or is it going to be an all over?
And all over? Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
You know, Reb made that log cabin just out of scraps.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Lori Holt fabric just in not so fussy quilts.
Mm-hmm.
The colors are beautiful and I don't know, it's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would look really cool with the flying geese too. They're small prints, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes large prints get a little lost in the flying geese.
Mm-hmm.
You could even do different sizes too. That'd be kind of fun.
Hmm.
Do big ones in the outside and get smaller as you go around.
Ooh.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be fun. She's just so full of ideas.
I
all the time.
only create on the fly though. If someone says you have to figure this out, no idea. It only happens on the fly.
Well, you're really good at it. Eventually she's going to be my creative director, I think.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. So here, this is the little seeds prints. So this would be a cute little rainbow quilt. The flying geese. So I thought that would be fun to show you. Nice array of colors. Also great to have in your stash because it's small prints. And you can always use small prints in your stash.
They look really good for applique too.
Yes. Applique.
And you know how much we love applique around here.
Yes. I think there's one more under there.
Is there? Oh, two more.
Oh, yes.
Our famous soar.
Yep.
We have lots of soar left, so anyone that's still looking for soar fabric, we have it all, and we have all the wide back, which is getting harder and harder to find. So, very cool stuff.
See, she's good at her job. Yes.
And soar is beautiful. I mean, as you can see, it's just beautiful fabric. Everyone falls in love with this fabric, and it's even prettier in real life than it is on the internet.
Yep. So here's the panel, which I know you guys can see that. Actually, no, you can't.
They can't see the
You can't see the eagle. If you haven't seen this yet, this is really pretty. And a lot of times, one of the things that we get questions about is people come in and they have a quilt that they're wanting to make, but they need to make it a little bit bigger. This is great. Flying grease. Flying grease.
That's what happens in your kitchen.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what happens in the kitchen. But that's a great way to make the quilt a little bit bigger, add a nice dimension to the border.
If you have this pattern uses a couple of different borders to make it different sizes. And sometimes, I don't remember, not all of them have flying geese, but some do, and some has a double flying geese. It really makes them look, it can really enlarge the quilt without making it look like you just added
A border.
borders on it.
Yeah.
Because who wants just boring build?
Well, and it's
borders?
interesting to look at too, because it looks like flying.
And it integrates
geese.
all of the pretty fabrics. You know,
Yep.
it's not just one color.
Right.
These are all the different coordinating prints that go with it.
And now that you know how to do fast flying geese,
That you can knock
This
those out
quilt.
in nothing.
would be done really, really fast.
Yes.
Very fun. We have another little cute little Christmas one. We're gonna have to sort these.
Let's see.
I'm
here.
throwing them everywhere.
You are.
Wendy likes to comment on that, how fast I throw things everywhere. Here's some boxes over here we can
Rebs
put them
did
in.
a great job on the sword quilt, Lana.
I did do the quilting on this. It's got little feathers and stuff.
So this one is a cute little, is this the advent calendar panel? No.
No, I
This
think
one
that
is a
one's just
cute
a
little
regular one.
Santa's Christmas tree farm. And look, I love how they have a cheater border already on here.
They've already done it for you. You do not have to do it yourself.
Right.
So quick for Christmas.
Love it. And then,
You know, we're all looking for shortcuts for Christmas.
right, get these done quick.
And you know what? If you stitched in like around
Ditch.
each one,
Mhm.
it would look like you
Quilted it.
quilted it, you pieced it yourself.
Yep. One of my first, one of my first panel quilts, it was just a panel and it had the cheater around it, and that's how I was practicing my quilting. And I gave it to my friend, and she just was so like over the moon.
That would also be, if you have a youngster that's just learning to quilt, that would be a great way to get them practicing, you know, stitching in the ditch without actually having a ditch.
Mhm.
Straight lines.
Mhm.
I think that would be really useful. And literally, you could put this, not even do anything else to it, layer it and quilt it, and be done with it.
You could even practice free motion quilting on these
On the
little
background here,
snowflakes.
yep.
You could just do cute little snowflakes. I'll have to show that sometime because I learned a really cute method a couple years ago and I loved it. Here's the rest of the bundle. We have cute little panel blocks. I'll show that in a minute. And then we have Santa Claus, candy canes, cute. Ooh, that gingham. There we go. Gingham, gingham. Oh my gosh. Snowflakes. I love these snowflakes in this collection. This is really
like
cute.
the colors
I don't even
in
know
this.
what it
It's-
is. Santa's
It's
tree farm.
lot, didn't it?
Santa's tree farm.
Tree farm, okay.
Yes.
I like the colors. It's a little bit darker than your typical Christmas, but I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a nice dark winter night. But
Yes.
I like it.
Oh, it's upside down. Here we go. North Pole delivered. These would make cute little gift tags.
And the Santas on here are so cute.
Cute.
They're kind of traditional Santas and they're just darling.
They are cute. Cute, cute. Ooh, I better drink my water. Ha.
Those are sore.
I kind of like sewing because then I can sit and drink my water. Sit and drink my
Did
water.
you want to take a look at the Yule? This is a nice lot of
No,
different
we were going to
colors.
give some stuff away and we have like 15 minutes.
Oh, well, that's more fun.
Ooh, giveaway winner number 1 is Sharon Touche. Sharon Touche. And so let us know you're here. T-U-C-H. Probably totally mutilated her name.
I would have
Tuck,
gone with that.
Tuck or Touche. Sharon Touche. And then giveaway winner number 2. This is her lucky week.
I saw she won one
Yeah.
of the drop-off winners. Yeah.
Yep. Liz Lesby.
Good job, Liz.
You're our giveaway winner number 2. I think you need to go buy
A lottery,
a lottery ticket.
Definitely.
this week. Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to him. Probably because I looked at him. I breathed on him. So Liz Lesby and Sharon Took, you guys are our winners. What are we winning today? Ooh, cute.
Ooh, it looks like some swag there.
Santa's Tree Farm. That one goes there. Yay. So which one's for whom?
That
get
one's
to-
Sharon.
Okay. This one's for Sharon. It's a little swag bag. Oh my gosh. All of our cute little swag items.
All of our favorites.
Our ruler that has RebsFabStash on it, just in case you forgot who loves you. RebsFabStash, this is a lint roller, and I think this is the one that has a sewing kit in it too, right?
Yes.
Has a
believe
sewing kit, and there's something else in here. There's 3 surprises in this little swag. This was like everybody's favorite swag that we did in the
It's
stash
definitely
box.
a good one. But yeah, make sure when you open it up, look for hidden compartments because there is some interesting
There's
stuff
3
in there.
hidden compartments. Then we have some hand sanitizer and a little RebsFabStash keychain.
It's a little house from our house to yours.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
That was one of our stash box swag items because it was how much we love our home. And then a little tape. I love these measuring tapes. I need to make sure I get one of these before they're gone. Or maybe we order some.
Yeah, pretty much the whole
more.
staff has said the same thing. So
Yeah.
they'd make a really good staff Christmas present. Just a hint.
Okay. Well, I think we're pretty low on them.
We might need to get a few more.
So we might have to order some more. So can you just put it on your list and make
will
it
put it
happen?
on my
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay. And I didn't quite put it back together as nicely as it was. And then this one is for Liz. You don't have to ship hers because she's local.
Everyone needs a pen wand.
Pin
Honestly,
wand. Drop them on the carpet on the
one
floor.
of my favorite tools.
Bad things happen. Hand sanitizer. Random fat quarter. Ooh, pretty kind of autumny colors. And then a little spool of thread or a fill thread.
Always useful too.
Nice. Pretty general picture. Okay, so we will be announcing a stash sale in about 15 minutes. And I might give you a hint for the weekend sale. But one thing I did want to make sure I mentioned today is, as you all know, tomorrow is Veterans Day. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who are veterans. Thank you to all of you for your service. Thank you to all of your family members. Yeah, I have a long list of family members that have been in the military. So of course we know that Mom has, she was in the Air Force. That's where she met Dad, who also served in the Air Force. And then let's see, both of my grandfathers served in World War II. And one was in the Army and one was in the Navy. And my Uncle C.A. and my Uncle Craig and my Aunt Linda and
Military family.
2 of my cousins. Yes. And then let's see, my father-in-law was also in the service. He was in, I don't know where my phone is. Oh, here it is. I think it's dead. He was in the Navy or the Air Force, just in case he's watching. Thank you for your service. Thanks, Gary's dad and everybody, and Mom and everybody. Did you have anybody that was in the service?
I did. My grandfather served in World War II. My uncle, my dad's brother, he served, I believe it was the Korean War. Who else did I have? My father-in-law was a Marine. I think he was in Vietnam. And I don't have a real big family, so I don't have a lot of people that have been, but yeah, we have a sprinkling of military people throughout our family. And yes, we truly appreciate the sacrifices that our service people give so that we can sit here and sew and have a good life. So.
And have like free media, and we can sew on YouTube Live and sell things on YouTube Live and just chitty chat with our people and our friends. So if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. And happy Veterans Day tomorrow, a day early. What else? She has something. I don't know what.
You have another giveaway winner.
Oh, I have another giveaway winner.
We
Ooh.
love.
Oh my gosh, didn't she win last week?
I don't remember.
Valerie Steele.
Ooh,
You are giveaway number 3, giveaway winner number 3. We're gonna send you this cute little
scrap
bundle of Christmassy fabrics. Oh my gosh, this is cute. We have, and we even tied it with a bow that's big enough to be used
for something.
For something. So it's a little Santa Claus print, and let's see, we have some Christmas lights and some more cute fabric. Oh my gosh, this one's a baking collection. That was cute.
So if you ever come into the store, we sell these scrap bundles, and they're the end of bolts. So the pieces can be anywhere from a quarter yard all the way to just under a yard, because we sell most of our fabrics in yard pieces. So all of these are end of bolts, but they're so useful. And you know, we put the ones out for sale that I don't rescue first.
I know, she's got like a big bag of
I
stuff.
do.
And she's like,
I do. Hundreds of dollars every month goes home with me. It's kind of sad.
Yes.
Sorry, I support the store, you know?
Yep. Yep, she supports where she works.
Yes.
She supports the boss.
Yes.
Wendy did 4 years in the Navy.
Wendy served 4
thank
years
you,
in
Wendy.
the Navy. Thank you, Wendy.
That's amazing.
In the Navy, huh?
In the Navy. Isn't there a song?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, sorry.
There is a song.
Sorry.
My grandfather that served in the Navy, his ship got hit around the time of Pearl Harbor.
Oh my.
But he floated in the South Pacific for 3 days before he was rescued.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody died on that ship for that one. It was the SS Gambier Bay. Ooh, A+ for me. I remember.
Wow, amazing.
SS Gambier Bay. Yep. They had reunions for a while, but you know, now they're gone mostly.
I had one other relative,
Yes.
Uncle Ralph.
Uncle Ralph.
I just remembered he was actually my father's uncle, but he also was a military man. But he was one of those that they marched in the desert down in southern Arizona, southern California, to push those soldiers to see how far they could handle marching.
Wow.
It was a challenging serving time.
That's why I didn't want to go into the military, honestly, when I was like 17 or 18 and they were trying to recruit me. I was like, I don't want to have to do that many sit-ups and run that much.
Thank goodness there are
So
lots
I
of
didn't.
people that do.
Yes.
Yeah, almost forgot Uncle Ralph. Can't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
The stash sale price is not dropping. Should I do it manually?
No, because it'll do it again.
Okay. It was supposed to do it 30 minutes ago.
Oh? Go look at did the BPE run?
It said it ran.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. We'll just have to watch it.
I don't know what you guys put on stash.
I don't know either, but we're going to find out in a minute. Oh.
That whole line. Okay.
The whole line?
No, just this.
Oh, just that.
Just the pattern.
Well, if we happen to get off the show and it's not done, I can go do it too.
Okay.
I can go
do
make
it right
sure.
We just need to watch it.
To make sure it doesn't double
Just
drop.
make sure it doesn't drop
Well, I
again.
paused the other one, and then
Okay.
I'll just manually do it.
Okay.
So that it's
Technology,
good when the
it
email's out.
always is a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll go through some old questions.
Okay.
Tammy said, Christy, you need to start selling pounce pads and stencils.
Pounce pads and stencils.
That's, I've always kind of thought of that as old school, but they're basically stencils, and the pounce pad is like a little bean bag that's got chalk in it, and you pounce it on the stencil, and so then it leaves a line where you quilt.
Oh,
So
cool.
I haven't thought about those in a while because, you know, now
Well,
that I
'cause you
long
have
arm.
she's got the long arm.
Yeah,
so she just programs it in and
I have a computerized long arm, so I don't really think much about quilting that much because I just let the computer do it all.
that's a good idea. We do have a couple of stencils in the shop that were from Mom's stash that she did last week. Couple of cute ones. I could maybe bring them next week if you want, and we could show them to you. And if you want them, we can
Stencils are
sell
fun.
them. But the
Stencils
little
are
pounce
fun.
pad, that's interesting.
Yep.
What other questions did we have?
Let's see. Martha had never heard of soar fabric.
Oh my,
Oh.
well, we are so glad we could introduce you to it. You
Martha,
should
you've
take a
never
look.
heard of Soar Fabric?
By Northcott. Yeah,
This
it's
is
beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's really, really pretty.
It was the second in a
Awesome.
group of lines of fabrics put out by these designers. The first one was Whispering Pines, and so this eagle is the second one, and there's going to be another one coming up here in a bit, which they're so pretty.
Yeah.
Whispering Pines it sold so fast, and we couldn't keep it in stock. They printed it 4 times because it was so popular.
Yeah.
And this one has proven to be pretty popular too. I wouldn't be surprised if they reprinted it.
One of the things that I like about this collection, or these collections, is they have an ombre print in them that is just gorgeous. I think it's this border.
It is this
piece.
border is the ombre.
So it goes from light to dark, and it has little like circles and kind of watery color things, and it's just really, really pretty.
And they also, this piece right here, they call it an ombre landscape. The landscape is like this, but it goes from dark to light, and it's just the mountains without the eagle. And that's this border up here, and it's really pretty.
That one's really cool too. And there's wide backs that are a scenic background.
It's that same picture. It's like basically it looks like this without the eagle.
Yeah.
And the wide back is you don't have to have any seams in the back. The other thing that you can do with wide backs that's really cool is curtains. They make fantastic curtains.
I was going to ask you about that. I still have that Whispering Pines
Guess
that I want
what?
to
I
make.
get to make curtains for Christy.
No! Okay, so I was going to ask, I think that I would just go along the up and down side and go in, and then fold it in, press it, and then sew it to have a finished edge, and then do the same thing down at the bottom, maybe a little bit
Hemming
bigger.
them.
And then do the same thing up at the top and just make it big enough to go around the...
Leave enough
Thingy.
for your thingy, for your curtain rod.
I was literally
Pocket
laying
for a
there in bed
curtain
the
rod.
other day. I don't know, the sun was coming up and I didn't want to get up yet, and I was like laying there thinking about, okay, how would I make those curtains? Now
Super
I just
simple.
have to go and buy the curtain rod.
Christy lives in this beautiful log cabin type house outside of town where she looks over the Palouse, and these fabrics would look so beautiful in her house. It's just amazing.
Well, I did rescue the Whispering Pines, one of the kits.
Yeah.
And I think a half-yard bundle or a fat quarter bundle.
And several.
And now that I know how to do
animals
fast
and-
flying geese, I'm like, all right,
You're ready to go.
get her nailed down after I get these other 2 things done.
We just need a few more days in our week.
A few more hours in the day. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, we recently changed time, you know, like this
Yeah.
past weekend, and I swear that's my favorite day because you get a whole extra hour.
I know.
A whole hour extra to live twice. I just love that.
I woke up and it was like the sun was coming up and I was like, oh man, I gotta get up and go feed the horses. And I look at the clock and I'm like, and then I look at my phone, I'm like, no, I don't. I can go back to bed. They don't know any different.
And the horses are like, excuse me.
Yeah,
I'm
sun's
still
coming up.
hungry."
I'm ready to eat. So anyway, yeah, I was like, oh, good. I can sleep for another hour.
Yeah.
All right, so let's tell you what our stash sale is. This is the All About Christmas Quilt Pattern by Janet Wecker-Frisch. Really cute. Sorry, Wendy, it's lots of applique. And we discovered this week that there is not very much in the instructions in this pattern, so we included a QR code to take you to the sew along because Janet Wecker-Frisch did this as a sew along. So really cute. We still have a lot of this fabric left. We also have some of these kits that are already cut. And if you'd like to grab that pattern or you want to use some different fabrics for that, the pattern is regularly, what is it? Anna?
Oh, sorry.
The pattern is regularly
$39.50.
$39.50 and it is now
$25.68.
$25.68. Holy cow.
Was this it was a sew along, so was it sort of block of the month kind of, or what?
Probably. There's a lot of
There's only
applique.
3 weeks of this. So
Oh, 3 weeks.
yeah.
These are the before Christmas. This is the up to Christmas.
Yes.
Every day you do something different.
Yep. Really cute. So there's little ornaments and angels. And the other thing I like about having these kind of things is then if you just want a block.
I would not do this whole quilt like
Right.
this. I would do a line and do, I love table runners. That's my favorite because I can actually get it done. And so I could totally see myself doing just one row of the pattern or even doing one snowman as a pillow.
Yeah.
You know, because
Or a
they
little-
are super cute.
He'd be cute to hang on one of
On
the
the
doors.
door. Yeah, definitely.
That would be really cute. So cute pattern. Yeah, I wouldn't do the whole quilt either, but of course, I don't have the time to get it done. So someday, maybe, if I ever retire. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just come back and do YouTube lives all the way until my dying days. We'll see.
Sure.
Sure.
And we'll get this quilt done. Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. So
I think you're going to get this done this year. I think we should just leave it here, and every time you had a break, you could go over and do another.
I could just leave the machine in and do a little bit more every time.
Yeah.
In here,
Oh, there you go.
maybe.
We're going to do a block every live.
We'll see.
would
Okay,
be
guys.
funny.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna go run home and grab the kid and feed the horses and the chickens and
Or grab the horse and feed the kid.
yes. What did I say?
No, kidding.
Grab
You
the
said
kid and feed the horse.
horses.
Okay, I did say it right.
You did. I was
Anyway,
kidding.
that was fun. Thank you so much for watching us do the fast flying geese. We will get that chart out there pretty soon. So if you want to do your own
different sizes.
different sizes, we'll
You can
have it in the
definitely
link
look
down
good
below.
with different sizes in the same quilt. They don't
Yep.
all have to be the same. So
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of you who are veterans. Thank you for your service, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
bye.